If you've ever wondered what Dwight D. Eisenhower's views were on the Holocaust after seeing a concentration camp, do I have a book for you? It's time for another book review here on my channel. Thank you so much for being here. And today we're going to talk about some heavy stuff. And the book is entitled Dwight Eisenhower and the Holocaust, A History, and it's by Jason Lantzer. Now, if you want to see an interview with Jason about this book, head on over to my podcast series here on YouTube. You'll see a playlist for the Tattooed Historian Show, and Jason is on there talking about this book with me. De Gruyter Press published this book, and it is fantastic. It is easily readable. I read it in 2 days. And it really gives you an understanding of what Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander during the Second World War in Europe, really felt about the Holocaust after witnessing a concentration camp. Eisenhower got to visit Ohrdruf, and this camp was liberated by some of Patton's men while they were going through the European continent to try to finally give the crushing blow to the German forces. And Patton and Ike go to the site and they witness so many horrible things they never thought would be possible in the history of the world. The things that humans could do to other humans simply because they saw them as inferior. And this really had an effect on Eisenhower. And I appreciate how Jason took a chronological approach to this whole thing. He started with Eisenhower back during the First World War, his thoughts on being kept out of it in his mind by staying stateside, basically training soldiers and doing logistical work instead of being on the front. You go through Eisenhower's life between the two wars, and then you start to see Ike's rise in the Second World War. And so that chronological move really helps you understand some key developments in Eisenhower's thought processes and his ideas of what freedom and equality can be. They are still debating this topic and still trying to understand what is equality. Obviously, the U.S. Army and the military is still segregated, and they have to come to grips with that while they're also liberating concentration camps full of people who are seen as undesirables, according to the Germans. And the things that they see and witness has a long-lasting impact on all of them. I appreciated how Jason put up things in there pertaining to the soldiers who liberated the camps, and how that took an effect on them. They fought the war harder. They created almost a total war to end the war because their mindset was, if we can end this quicker, we can end this madness of these camps quicker. Eisenhower also goes on a PR run, and he does a media blitz with this camp. He says everyone should come in here and document this, thinking of the fact that, one, the people need to know what's going on, and two, when there are trials, which he hoped for, of Nazi officials, that this will be used as evidence. And there is a ton of imagery taken from Ohrdruf and beyond, and this is all thanks in large part to Eisenhower and his thinking of documentation. And we as historians have to be very thankful for that, but also people who seek justice right after the Second World War had to also be thankful for Eisenhower's belief in documentation. We also see some things going forward with him into his presidency, his ideas of defense, his ideas of refugees, etc. These are all in the book, and they are very well highlighted by Jason. As I said, it is a tremendous book. It is an easy read for many people. You don't have to be an academic to read this book. It is very accessible. And I believe that this is a history that needs to be shared with as many people as possible. It is a very, very powerful story. If you would like to grab your copy of the book, I'll put a link in the description below. And I must say that you will be pleased to get a copy of this and to read through it. You will learn a lot. And through that learning comes a greater understanding of the world around us.